Here we have the Goyslop childhood tier list on what we grew up with. I listed all the foods that I can remember from childhood, growing up in New Zealand, and we are going to kick it off with beef noodles. Beef noodles. Slop. We all remember having Crunched Up as a snack, or people that didn't grow up with that much money would crunch up the dried beef noodles and put in the sachet. Everyone knows, if you're from New Zealand or even Australia, and we'll just eat the noodles how it is, like chips, basically. This is a straight slop, no nutritional value, artificial flavors and everything. Then we got pre-cooked sausages. Easiest thing and the least effort you can do to go to a barbecue is just to buy some pre-cooked slop, which has starches, additives, Zambian gum, fillers, empty calories. It's just purely evil. And everyone probably remembers getting pre-cooked because it's easy and cheap. But this is literally empty calories. You're better off not having anything than having pre-cooked sausages. How I've listed this tier list is from the top. We have smuckery, and then going down the list, hormone disruption, diabolical, straight evil, and just straight slop. Next, we have the famous Coke Zero, Coke or Coke. And I put that up as smuckery. Why? Well, if you're just having Coke, yeah, we've seen athletes, but I think that's the psyop propaganda. You've got aspartame, you've got corn syrup, you've got just straight. You guys have probably all seen the videos where literally you can clean a stainless steel pan, you can clean things, you can toilet clean your toilet with straight Coca-Cola, and we're drinking that. So that's smuckery. Next thing we have Lynx Africa, and I used to spray that all over me. But the problem is aluminium, heavy metals. You're putting that on your body, and you're just wrecking your hormones. So I put that as just straight hormone disruption. If you're going to be using deodorant or cologne, or deodorant is to stop you from sweating, you're literally putting aluminium over your sweat glands. There's literally no point. So I'll just avoid that altogether. And it used to be a thing where who could smell the nicest at school? Everyone probably knows that. Okay, next one we have table spread. Table spread. This is not butter. This is canola oil. This is vegetable oil. This is straight diabolic that you would put on your bread and have. Yuck. My mum used to get fucking a 10 litres and we used to fill that up. Either table spread or sunflower butter. What is that? That's diabolical. Next thing we have is the classic microwave. It's just pure evil. especially if you're reheating. You're stripping all the nutrients from the food. If you're putting it in with plastic, you're just, getting all the extra microplastics. I think the micros are evil. There's many other ways you can eat it actually, you can just eat it cold. Leftover food, you can reheat it on a gas stove. There's many other ways. Okay, the next thing we have is Snickers. And we all know the prize. Play rugby and you'd get a Snickers bar because you got player of the day. And I think it's just slop. How much of that is vegetable oils? Vegetable oils, thickeners, gum, just straight slop. Next thing we have the famous Colgate. The Colgate with fluoride. Let alone what's already in our water. Fluoride, chlorine, heavy metals. If you guys have probably seen, if you haven't, fluoride literally carves its mark in concrete. And you're washing your mouth with that. Okay, I want to jump to the next one. That's mouthwash. Mouthwash, or Listerine, or whatever you want to call it. This was actually floor cleaner. And people started using it for their breath. So they reinvented it and repackaged it to sell to the masses. You're literally putting floor cleaner in your mouth to kill every fucking bacteria. That's nearly up at smuckery, but I'm going to leave it at hormone disruption. Okay. Now let's keep making the sandwich. We have the classic white bread, which contains mostly canola oil and the cheapest white bread. Wheat, canola oil, and every other fucking full of bullshit. So you got white bread that has vegetable oil, then you're putting more vegetable oil, and then you're gonna put some mayo, right? Which is again 70% canola or soybean or vegetable oil. So you're putting more vegetable oil. Your vegetable oil polyunsaturated sandwich. Or you might switch. You might switch and have some Nutella, which also has some palm oil and some vegetable oil. I think Nutella, when they changed the ingredients, Nutella these days is just pure evil. But yeah, you might be making your ham sandwich, and you have some cheese with some extra filler. Has a bit of dairy product, but it's mostly filled with fillers. I think that's just straight slop. Then what we have the classic tap water, and what they're doing with the tap water is hormone disruption in the major cities. They are required to put chlorine and fluoride in the tap water, which is, people have their opinions. I don't think fluoride's needed, but chlorine to kill the bacteria, okay, could be needed. But do these schools have, reverse osmosis filtering system? Most probably not. We never had that. So maybe we grew up with tank water, but mostly hormone disruption, just fed to you in a tap, okay? Then, to kick it all up, you're going to go out onto your life, you're going to go to the beach. We have sunscreen. So there's already studies out there. You guys can look it up. You have vegetable oil and all the vegetable oils, sunflower, soybean, canola, all these vegetable oils on one hand, and then you have good cholesterol from meat, dairy, good fats. And the mice, the rats who had the vegetable oils were more likely to get sunburnt and catch the C word, cancer, okay? So with that, you're just putting on something that's going to go straight into your bloodstream, and you're wondering why you're getting burnt. Well, if you actually look what you're ingesting in terms of vegetable oils, and then you're putting this on, and then you're wondering why your aura is low. Your aura's low, or you're wondering why you put it on. You put it on, go for a swim, it falls off. You ruin the fucking waters. You ruin the pool even more. You ruin the rivers if you're going for a swim. You ruin the fucking beach and the life there. Not 100%, but you know what I mean. You start to this, it comes off, but you've already absorbed it into your bloodstream. And you're out for half an hour and you get burnt. You're like, now I've got to keep applying this. But actually, if you cleaned up your diet, if you got rid of all the vegetable oils, then you wouldn't actually be getting as much burnt. 'Cause that's the main thing. Okay, it's what's in your diet. If you look back in the early 1960s, these days, there wasn't much vegetable oil in consumption, eating, then it wasn't as bad. Okay. And then we have chips. Okay, everyone was brought up, had some chips in New Zealand. I'll put that as slop, because you might actually add that in your sandwich. You'd have your white bread, you'd have your table spread, and then you'll put in some chips. Well, I had that. I had that. But chips are just straight slop. It's mostly just potato chips and vegetable oils again with fillers. Stripped out salts. No benefit there. Okay. Then later on we might have a donut. And then we'll have some more. We'll have some more vegetable oil and some sprinkles. What are those called? Sprinkles, which actually have artificial flavors. Okay, it's a straight slop. This is giving you no energy. Imagine trying to grow, and all you're having is pre-cooked sausages for dinner, sandwiches, noodles as snacks, and why you're just you're feeling like shit. Then we want to put on the toothbrush, plastic, microplastics, okay? Then we have the classic McDonald's, New Zealand. That's all filled with vegetable oils. We all grew up on that, After rugby game, our dad would take us to McDonald's and we'll have Macca's. So this is my slop. My Goyslop childhood tier list, which we grew up on. At the top here, we have smuckery. At the bottom, we have just the classic slop. And then in between, we have some evil and some diabolical and some hormone disruptions for our growth. So yeah, this is my childhood slop tier, Goyslop. Post-rugby, school lunch, morning routine, and sunbathing in sunscreen tier list.